I'm so glad I flossed. My teeth, too. Happy Monday, everyone. So it was announced that former President Joe Biden has advanced prostate cancer. I'm sure the announcement had nothing to do with the recently released Her audio and the bombshell book about his cognitive decline. Just like I think how Yoko Ono had nothing to do with the Beatles breaking up. Yeah, and that rash I got had nothing to do with my weekend at the Mustang Ranch. After hearing the news of Biden's cancer, Hillary Clinton posted, quote, "Wishing you a speedy recovery, and let me know if there's anyone you want me to murder." Also, after hearing the news of Biden's cancer, Hillary's husband posted, "Does your nurse have big cans?" Several inmates are still at large after escaping a New Orleans jail. The prisoners had escaped last week through a hole behind a toilet. Authorities warned the public that these inmates are armed, dangerous, and covered in How I like them. India failed to launch a satellite to observe Earth when the rockets malfunctioned. They could have saved it, but one of the engineers decided to press 1 to get a call back from tech support. Meteorologists are projecting unusually high temperatures in Southern California this week. Citizens are told to seek shade under Kim Kardashian's ass. Rumors are once again swirling that Lauren Boebert is dating Kid Rock. Yeah, after both were seen in public wearing earplugs. Almost half of Gen Z admitted to lying on their resumes in a recent survey. Yeah, don't I know it? My last 3 assistants claimed they were comfortable around nude men. And finally, a New York City woman ran the Brooklyn Half Marathon in a wedding dress, hoping to find a husband. Well, if that's her goal, she should have dressed up as a sandwich.
A sexist would say.
All right. So tapes from the Her report were released. In case you missed it, here's a snippet.
Trump gets elected in November of 2017? 2016. All right. So, why do I have 2017 here?
That's when you left office, January of 2017.
Okay. But that's when Trump gets sworn in.
Correct.
This guy was president. And not of the Brian Kilmeade fan club, which, by the way, has no members, but the United States. And those in power, the Democrats, they gaslit us over this, while the media provided cover.
This is ageism snuck into a report clearing the person of any wrongdoing.
You were not born yesterday. You understood exactly what you were doing.
He's not a medical doctor. He's just not.
The comments that were made by that prosecutor, gratuitous, inaccurate, and inappropriate.
Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
I'm just saying this guy says such random about his.
Stop. He's 81, and his memory, it doesn't seem great. It's not horrible.
Ugh. I'm so glad none of these people are doctors, especially this one. Now, you never know. If anything, Her handled Biden with kid gloves because he saw what we saw and what the media tried to hide. And so the Her report is the latest nail in the media's coffin. Now it's time to bury them and let maggots and worms do their thing. But forget the Dems for a moment. They have a reason for lying. For them, politics is a team sport, and lying is the playbook. They'll tell you higher prices are a good thing, or that Tim Walz is a man's man, or that the only thing missing from girls' sports is a penis. But the media betrayed their profession and put the country in danger, and that can't be forgiven. It's clear Biden wasn't running the country. Hell, he couldn't have run a dishwasher. And they knew that. Under Biden, we saw awful things occur. War, terror, crime, Jesse getting his own show. Would none of that have happened if someone was actually president? They knew the presidency was a sham, and they ridiculed anyone who said otherwise because he had a D next to his name. It makes me wonder, is there any industry like the media that orchestrated a similar cover-up, one that hid dangers to the American people in service to wealth and power? One comes to mind, the tobacco industry. For decades, they hid the fact that cigarettes were killing millions, until finally they had to put warning labels on their product. My favorite is the one that says smoking reduces blood flow, which causes erectile dysfunction. It's so much easier than telling a woman that she's a 5. Oh, how nice. Oh, you guys. But over time, smoking decreased. People still do it because it's fun and cool, unlike the media. True, the media's lies are a danger to your health. They'll push getting rid of cops and going soft on criminals. Then they'll tell you that the crime stats went down. But at least smoking offers some relief and you can stomp it out when you're done with it. Think about it. Unlike smoking, you never hear a coworker say, "Hey, I'm going to go outside and take a Jake Tapper break." No one stands out in the cold in front of a bar inhaling clips of Meet the Press. No one ever says, "Can I bum a Lawrence O'Donnell off you?" The closest you hear is, "I ran into Don Lemon panhandling during my smoke break." True. No prisoner will give you a hand job in exchange for some Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan. Those words were never put together in that fashion. But isn't it weird that you can't smoke on an airplane, yet you're allowed to watch Nicole Wallace? But this is good news. It means that unlike smoking, the bond between America and its joyless media is weaker than the sexual tension on Morning Joe. Meaning, once we realize its true harm, the break will be as clean and final as Joe Theismann's leg. I know. You won't even need a warning label. Although they deserve one. It could go like this. Warning, quitting media now greatly reduces serious risks to your health. Legacy media causes dementia while denying dementia. It causes division, anger, and misery, then blames you for it. Media enables crime and blames victims, covers for corruption, and may lead to murder, war, and even worse, more WNBA. See, parents should treat legacy media just like smoking, a habit that'll ruin their kids' lives. And if you catch them watching a show on CNN, make them binge watch the whole 24-hour cycle. They'll be puking through their eyeballs. And if your kids still don't get it, point them to those who still believe the news, the unhinged mobs disconnected from friends and family. It's as simple as turning on The View. You don't need a lab x-ray for that, just 2 eyeballs and a decent sense of smell. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He has a voice for radio and the face for a milk carton. Host of The Guy Benson Show, Guy Benson. She gives the news on Fox and drinks wine from a box. Fox News anchor Julie Banderas. His head was inspiration for roll-on deodorant. Host of the Jim Norton Can't Save You podcast, Jim Norton. And she knows alternative rock and loves a good stiff drink. Host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast, Kennedy. All right, Guy, a lot of bad news this week, but it feels like they're trying to juxtapose today's bad news as a way to push away the other bad news about the cover-up. What say you, bearded guy?
So I saw Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the House, come out today and say that Republicans are pushing conspiracy theories.
Yes.
For suggesting what you just did, which is the Her tapes come out, they're devastating on Friday. And then by Sunday, that weekend, they put a button on it, they put a bookend on it, and they announced the cancer. Now, I have no idea. I'm not making an allegation. I don't know what actually happened. I don't know when he was diagnosed. Maybe it really came down on Saturday. But are we really doing the conspiracy theory thing? Are they going to go back to that well again?
Yeah, everything's...
He's dismissing it as a conspiracy theory. It's like, dude, everything we've been saying about this guy and his condition is correct.
Yeah.
And the other one that they are saying, and he said it, and a lot of the other leftists in the media and the Democratic Party, they're saying, let's look forward. Let's move forward. Let's stop looking backward. No, I'm not over this because of what they perpetrated on us. And also, what are we supposed to move forward to? Their next new and exciting lies?
This is a really good point, and I'm surprised you had it. No, the only people, Julie, that say let's move forward are the people who commit crimes. Right. It's like I've seen so many on Instagram people getting arrested, and they're just like, "Oh, come on, you got the stuff. Just let me go." When they're shoplifting, they go, "You already got this. Just let me go." No, we have to take you to court.
Right. No, that happened to me when I was arrested when I was 16. I was like, "Come on, just let it go." It was minor shoplifting, not a big deal. But no, I mean,
that wasn't when you were a teenager. That was last week, Julie.
Well, they dropped the charges, so it doesn't count. So this is a boy cried wolf, unfortunately, scenario. And so when they accuse Republicans of coming up with conspiracy theories, medical doctors, medical experts have said that there's a very good chance that he was diagnosed 6 months, if not 6 years ago. Yeah. So that is a very likely medical reason. The reason for the lies, however, is just a simple cover-up. And I myself am a former liar.
Yes.
So I know a liar when I see one. Like when I was 19 and I got pulled over by a cop and he asked me, "Did you know your license is suspended?" I said, "No, that was not the truth." But that's selective memory. That's not memory loss. There's
yes. And good for you for being honest now. You know, it's a surprise. We actually have the police officer here. Come out here, officer.
And I only had to serve community service once, and that was when I was 16. So obviously...
Yeah, what, were you picking up trash?
I've really turned my life around.
Were you picking up trash on the highway?
Yes.
Or did that come later?
No, I worked at a nursing home, and I cleaned up piss and served pizza.
Better than the reverse.
I hope you didn't clean up the piss with the pizza.
No, I did not.
Jimmy, I missed that. I assume it was disgusting. I'll watch it when I get home. Jimmy, you're both a media expert and a medical expert, so your phone must be ringing off the hook.
Yes, Greg, it is. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
I watched and listened to the audio of that, and he reminded me of me when my wife finds a nude photo of another woman on my phone. Tuesday. Who? I don't know. It was 17th?
Yes.
He's just, and he's still a better speaker than Kamala when you watch.
Yes, it's true.
But they are, I felt bad for him. Like, I really felt bad for him. Like, he's just an old guy who's losing his memory. And it made me hate the press so much more than I've already hated them for years. Because they knew. I don't blame, again, his vice president. What is Kamala going to say? Yeah. She can't get up at the podium and go, yeah, he's got tomato soup for brains. She's got to act like he's doing great, but the press is just unforgivable.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, that's why even the Democrats are going to lie whenever they can. Yeah. You can't just blame them for everybody in politics lies, but the media is not supposed to pick a side. Kennedy, what do you think about my theory? And I think I'm the only one who's floated this because I'm a weirdo, that it's not a disability, it was a debility in which they deliberately kept Biden kind of frail and weak because he was easier to manage. They could pass whatever they wanted. He didn't ask questions because he was always tired.
I'm going to give you a label for this.
Yes.
Political Munchausen syndrome.
Oh.
They made the president even sicker and kept him debilitated. So people would go, oh my goodness, all of you around him, you are so incredibly brave. You know, Dr. Jill, Corinne Jean-Pierre, Ron Klain, you are doing the Lord's work here. And meanwhile, like if you listen to stories about the debate prep, they kept him going. They were pushing and pushing. I don't know what it says in those books because they wanted him exhausted. They wanted him absolutely depleted.
I think you're totally right. I think that they would have him do things right before he had to do something so he would be tired.
And they knew they
want,
could scramble his brain.
Yeah.
They knew exactly the outcome, and that's what they were looking for, which, you know, to Guy's point, makes the whole thing so much more sadistic and sinister. And yeah, Kamala, she's not a good speaker, and she also got caught in the ultimate lie about Biden's wherewithal, and people will respect a smart liar. We have no patience for a dumb liar. And there's so many idiots in the Democrat Party right now, from Karen Bass to Gavin Newsom and all the California just dip that... Yeah, let's hear it for California dip. That I fear what they're going to put before us next and how they will lie to us in 2028.
That was the biggest round of applause Munchausen syndrome has ever gotten.
Yes.
Very impressive. World record.
We're bringing it back.
And we're bringing it back.
I don't have Munchausen syndrome, but I'm trying to make sure other people have it.
You've got Munchkin syndrome.
What I did there?
Yeah, I have that too. I went out with a girl. She has a great housing.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.